online tonight and the one that are on YouTube. I'd like to welcome you all. That hope what we cover tonight will be a blessing for each and every one. And I like to say the ears are the hearers. So now we're gonna get right into what we have to cover tonight. You know what I like to get a title of my lesson. The Lord will give you the desire of your heart, even if we wait patiently on Him. Because we have to be patient. Can't move too fast if we're looking for the blessing from the Lord. Because the Lord will bless you, but you got to be patient. Sometimes because the Lord, He look at the heart. He know exactly what you need, but you got to know exactly what you need, but you got to ask Him anyway. See, He's not gonna just give you what you need because you show up at the Israel of God, you read your Bible, which is good. But the Lord want to really truly know, do you trust Him? You trust Him. That's why you need to ask. Because, you got children, you know exactly what they need. If they don't ask, you don't want to give it to them. Because if you start giving it to them, they become vain, selfish, because they don't have to ask for you. See, but God wants respect and honor. That's why we need to ask for whatever we need. We need to ask Him. He'll give it to you if you ask Him in the right spirit. But if you're not asking Him in the right spirit, you don't have nothing coming. And that's what we have to learn and obey. I want to start this. I want to start this off in Proverbs, the 16th chapter, verse 7. Proverbs, the 16th chapter, verse 7. Because I know I need the Lord. I need a lot of help, So I'm hoping that the Lord hear our prayer, particularly tonight, right? Verse 7, 16 and 7. You get it? Read.
When a man's ways please the Lord, He maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
Oh, your ways got to please Him, right? What if your ways don't please Him? I guess He just turn your enemy loose. He just have free range with you. Huh? Read.
Better is a little with righteousness than great revenue without right.
Oh, better is a who? A little with righteousness. With great revenue without righteousness, right? Read that verse 6. What does it say?
By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged, and by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil.
Oh, so we got to know how to do that. Get rid of that old bad spirit and know how to get away from evil. But we got to know what to do and how to do it. Because the Lord, He is your defense. He is your protector. In other words, He is your all in all. So we got to know how to receive the blessing that the Lord have for us. Because let's go a little further down. Let's go a little further. Because the Lord made a promise. Go to John, the 15th chapter. Because we got to know how to get that blessing from the Lord. Because He won't respect. He won't respect. I go to John 15, verse 5, 15 and 5, because it's all about knowing how to receive the blessing that the Lord already have for you. You don't have to find it. It's already there because everything was created from the foundation of the world. Just not got to know how to receive it. When you get it, read.
I am the vine, ye are the branches. He that abideth in me, and I in him, the same bringeth forth much fruit. For without me ye can do nothing.
And there's some, so we have to remember that and understand that. That's why we need the Lord. We can't even wake up in the morning. Huh? Even a lot of times you wide awake, but you can't move.
Mhm.
See, a lot of people are still alive, but they being held in captivity by the God of this world. So we got to know God, we need him. But read.
If a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned.
Oh, ain't that something? Read that next verse. What does it say?
If ye abide in me, and my words abide in you, ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you.
See, that's good to know. Right there, good to know. Now, read that verse again because it says two things that we need to grab hold of. What is read?
If ye abide in me,
If you abide in God, what else?
and my words abide in you.
Oh, you got to have his words, right? Okay? Because he said, my words, they are spirit and they are life, right? Okay, but read.
Ye shall ask what ye will, and it shall be done unto you.
You shall ask what you will. He'll do it for you. Now, see, to me, that's good to know. That's good to know. I don't know about you guys, but that's good to know. Because let's go a little further here, because God, he knows exactly what you need. See, because he will give you your desire, right? Let's go to the 38th chapter of Psalm. 38th chapter of Psalm. Because the Lord would give it to you. He waiting on you to be blessed. Because he know what you need. You know, I go to church every Sabbath, you know, I read my Bible. That's good. But do you trust in God? See, and that's where the problem comes. Trusting in God. See, a lot of times we don't have that faith. What it takes to receive the blessing that has already been in store, created from the foundation of the world. It's not like he got to go and create it. It's already there. All you got to do is just ask and believe you receive. And that's good to know. We just got to know how to do it. 38 and verse 5. 38 and 5. 38 and 5, because we need the Lord at all times. All the time. Sometimes we might think we don't need him because things is going well, everything going well, and everything just falling in place for you. But then that day come when old Satan, he said, I'm walking to and fro, seeking whom I will devour. You just blessing this guy, and he don't even talk to you. So read when you get it.
My wounds stink and are corrupt because of my foolishness. I am troubled. I am bowed down greatly. I go mourning all the day long. For my loins are filled with a loathsome disease, and there is no soundness in my flesh.
See, that can happen. Always remember that can happen. You know, but Job, just like Job, we can look at a great example from Job. Look at that. He went through a whole lot of problems. But read.
I am feeble and sore broken. I have roared by reason of the disquietness of my heart.
Ain't that something? Read.
Lord, all my desire is before thee, and my groaning is not hid from thee.
So you got to let the Lord know. Talk to God. You want to hear from him, you got to know how to talk to him. But you got to speak it by faith and believing you're going to get exactly what you say. And that's what it's all about, faith. Have faith in God. Well, the faith is a what? It's a substance, right?
Substance of
Things hoped for. The evidence.
Things not seen.
Things not seen. You don't see it, but you know it's there because you trusting in God. Because he said it. Everything was created from the foundation of the world. And this is what we have to believe and understand. Understand that. Now let's go a little further there, because, you know, God, he waiting to hear from you. You want to hear from him because you're his child, right?
Yes, sir.
Just like you got children, you want to bless them. But they got to ask for it. You ain't gonna give it to them because they're your child. Because if you do that, and you grow in disrespect. Because now they think they're supposed to get it, don't have to ask you for nothing. Now they want to talk back at you. Talk at you, do evil things, right? So we had to know and understand where our help come from, right?
Right.
Hey, let's go to Psalm 37. Psalm 37. Because we got to know. And we need to know that. See, because if we don't know where our help comes from, then we are lost just wandering through the earth, don't know what to do or how to do it. Because God, he waiting on you to do for you what he said that he will. Because everything was created from the foundation of the world, right?
Yes, sir.
And that's what it's all about. Because you got to know that we trust in him. Verse 1, 37 and 1. What does it say?
Fret not thyself because of evildoers.
No, don't worry about them evildoers. You don't have to worry about it because you got God. Read.
Neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity.
Oh, don't be jealous of them. Everything seems to be going well. You know, they just as evil, but everything going well. They for them, nothing happening. You know, no sickness in their children. And all the children is no problem at all. Don't worry about that, because the Lord, he see all that. But make sure that if you jealous of that, now the God can't help you, because the Lord tell you pray for all men everywhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say be envious of them. Just pray for them, because they need it, because they don't never know what's going to happen tomorrow. But read.
2. For they shall soon be cut down like the grass.
Oh, they're going to be what?
Cut down like the grass.
Read.
And wither as the green herb.
Mm-hmm.
Trust in the Lord and do good.
Mm-hmm.
So shall thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed.
Ain't that something? Got to know how to do that. Receive that blessing that already been in store for you. But read.
Delight thyself also in the Lord, and he shall give thee the desires of thine heart.
Oh, ain't that something? Delight thyself in the Lord. Whatever your desire is, he give it to you. But you got to know how to ask for it, and you got to know how to receive it, because he's waiting to give it to you. But read.
Commit thy way unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Trust also in him, and he shall bring it to pass.
Ain't that something? Well, you can't do it. No matter what it is, no matter how much book you know. You can know this book inside out, but you still can't get anything if the Lord don't do it, right? That's why we need him at all times. But read.
And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light.
Oh, now, say that again.
And he shall bring forth thy righteousness as the light.
He bring forth, everybody would see that you were right. Oh, that brother must be living right. God is blessing him. Huh? Looking at all, he's doing everything on target. He's on target with everything. He do. But read.
And thy judgment as the noonday.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in the Lord,
Mm-hmm.
and wait patiently for him.
Mm-hmm.
Fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass.
So don't worry about that wicked man. It's going to be soon cut off. It won't last. Don't believe you can't be envious of it, because God's going to bless you if you continue to walk that straight and narrow path.
Yes, sir.
That's what you got to do. But if you're going to make a detour, can't do that. Say, well, I know I ain't supposed to do it, but God, I'm going to just try this one time. It don't take but one time to get off course, to get messed up. One time, that's all it takes. Like a young lady told me, I only did it one time, and she got pregnant.
That's all it took.
It don't have to be no 2 times. Looking at that other girl over there, she all wicked and everything. She just hanging out all the time. Ain't nothing happen. See, we can't do what the wicked do. Because Satan, he's the God of this world. Because he wants you. If you're doing right, you want to know one that's doing right, it don't take one time for you to get caught up. Because just like what he would say about Job ain't serving you for nothing. You let me put forth my hand and touch him, he curse you to your face. See, that's Satan's job. He know what his end is. He wants you to go with him. Hey, but read.
8. Cease from anger and forsake wrath. Fret not thyself in any wise to do evil.
Well, he does that. Cease from anger and do what? Forsake wrath. Don't do evil, because the Lord, he got eyes running to and fro, right? He know exactly what you're doing, because he got them angels out there, they report. Yeah, that sister over there, she did wrong. But how long has she been doing it? Well, I've been doing it for a while. Now you're going to turn old Satan to loose on you. Because Satan is right there at your right hand, waiting for instruction. Because he cannot touch you unless you get permission from God. Thank God for that. But make sure you ain't doing nothing wrong. But it didn't say you wouldn't err, because the scripture say a righteous man falling down 7 times and get up, right? See, but don't do it intentionally. Make sure you falling on accident. You're not intentionally doing it. Because if you do that, you just might get caught up. You get good to you, you don't want to let it go. And now you got a problem.
Got a problem.
You don't want to let it go because, oh man, it's all good. I didn't know it was this easy. And that's where you get caught up in self. And that's not good. It's not good at all. Because God gonna close his eyes on you. You don't even know you. You don't even know you, because he's been blessing you, giving you all the right thing, because you've been asking him, and he giving you the desires of your heart. And we got to know how to cease from anger and do good, right? We got to know how to do that, because God, he is God, and there is no other God beside him. Now let's go a little further. Go a little further here. Because you say, rest in the Lord and do good, right? Got to cease from anger, all that stuff. We got to know where our help comes from. Let's go to James. Go to James, the 4th chapter. Because we got to know where our help comes from. Because I know where my help comes from, where you don't act like it. Because you don't seem to know where your help comes from. I don't need no help. I do it by myself. Yeah, that's where you get in trouble. Don't put God on the back burner. Put him on the back burner. I come back to God later, because I just want to do this here for a while. But God would give you what you need. And you don't have to do it for a while. You can do it forever if you trusted in God. James, the 4th chapter, because it's all about knowing where your help comes from. You got to know that. Don't be like Jehu. The Lord blessed old Jehu. He went in there and took out old Baal, the prophet. And later on, what did he do? Same, he killed Baal and all their prophets. But then he went and served the same guy that God had him kill the Baal. So, man, so we got to be careful. Got to be careful. Because we can ease the error if we open ourselves up to that. But if you got God on your side, you can't touch it. Satan can't touch it. You have to get permission. He got to get permission. But he still can get permission. But if you got God, he cannot touch you, even though he got permission. Only you can move that hedge that God got around you. You're the only one can do it. Because if you don't do it, even though God gives Satan permission, but it's all up to you. You are in control of your life. And that's what we have to always remember. You are in control, no matter what. James, the 4th chapter, is that what I said?
Yes, sir.
Because, let's see here. James 4. We're going to start reading at verse 1. James 4:1. Read.
From whence come wars and fighting among you? Come they not hence, even of your lust that war in your members?
Ain't that stuff? Get rid of that old lust. Hey, don't be lustful. Be satisfied with what you got. If you master that, the Lord would add more and more to you. But you got to master everything that God gives to you. But if you don't, you're going to be struggling for everything else because you don't trust God. But read.
Ye lust and have not.
Oh, you do what?
Ye lust and have not.
Ain't that something? Read.
Ye killed and desire to have and cannot obtain.
Yeah, because your mind is not in the right place. But read.
Ye fight in war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not.
Because you do what?
Ye ask not.
You ask not. Oh, yeah, I'm asking, but you're not trusting God. You figure you're supposed to have it. No, but you still got to trust God if you want something from him, because he's the only one that can bless you. And you will enjoy it. But oh, Satan, everything Satan do is temporary. Temporary. He give you to it for a while until he get tired, then he go give somebody else. Why? Because he want to get as many as he can, because he know what his end is. He want as many as he can to turn from God. Read.
Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lust.
Oh, you asking, in the wrong spirit. You don't need it, but you asking. You got plenty, everything you asking for, you got plenty of it, but you don't need it. But God will supply all of your needs, right? That what the scripture say?
Yes, it is.
According to his riches in his glory. And that's good to know, because he said, I own a cattle on 1,000 hills, right? He says, silver is mine, gold is mine, everything belongs to God.
It does.
And you are his child. He will give it to you if you act, because you got children. You don't want them suffering. Even one that is disordered, you just hold it back for a while till they get straightened out. Once they straighten out, now you'll bless them. But if they don't change, it's hard for you to bless them. That's what God is. Because wow, you're created in his image. And this is what we have to understand. What verse?
We're at 4.
Read.
Ye adulterers and adulteress, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God?
Oh, that's right. You got to separate yourself from the world. Read.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God.
You definitely don't want to be an enemy of God, because he got them angels running to and fro, and they report. His brother did this and did that. Just like what that Sodom and Gomorrah, they had to go down there and check it out. God showed up and his 2 angels showed up with Abraham. And the 2 angels went on down to Sodom, but God stayed there with Abraham. Because God, he got them angels to do his job. Go upside your head. But he got to find out, make sure that you deserve it. Why? Because he is a merciful and a righteous God.
Righteous.
You're not going to go upside your head just because somebody said. You got to check it out. Make sure that you did it or doing it. Right? What verse?
We're at 5.
Read.
Do you think that the scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? But he giveth more grace. Wherefore he saith, God resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble.
Now, we need to remember that. Resisteth the proud, to give a grace unto the humble. Read that next one. What we got to do?
Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you.
See, all the evil come from the devil. We have to resist it. See, no evil come from God, but God would allow it if you are doing wrong. See, Satan got to get permission. He can't just do something to you because you are there. If you're doing wrong, he still have to get permission from God. And then, if you're doing wrong, he got permission from God, then he just do what he want to do. Okay? Because he got the permission. But let's go a little further. Let's go a little further here. Because we need to know these things. Operate in them. Because, we need help. We need help one another. Let's go to Galatians, the 6th chapter. Galatians, the 6th chapter. We need help. We need help one another. Okay? Because you never know, because we're supposed to be brothers and sisters in Christ, right? We need help from one another. And we got to know how to do that. Galatians 6:1. Because I don't like that old sister, so I don't care. But now you the one that gonna get Satan gonna go upside your head. That you gonna get it. Instead of your sister getting it, you gonna get it. But read 6:1.
Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness.
Oh, you which are what? No. You which are spiritual. See, well, I know the scripture, but are you spiritual? See, Jehu, he knew the scripture, but he was only spiritual for a minute. They said, but he said something when he was going to destroy Baal. Told him, your Baal, you serve Baal a little bit, but Jehu serving much. So we got to be very careful about what the words that come out of our mouth, because we end up doing exactly what we say. Okay. Be careful about the words that you use. But read.
Considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted.
Oh, consider thyself, lest thou also be tempted. See, we're not got a shield from being tempted. We can be tempted if we open to it. But you the one have to open to it. You see it just like David, right? When that woman was out there bathed, and he probably was looking at her for a few days. You see, and one day, all of a sudden, Satan opened up his eyes. Said, "Bring that woman to me." I said, "Well, that's the man's wife." That didn't mean nothing. It mean a thing. See, he was a man after God's own heart. But he still sinned. No matter how much you know, how close you are to God, but you still can sin.
Yes, you can.
If you allow it. You got control of it. And that's what we have to always remember. Because Satan cannot touch you unless you open the door. You have to do it. But read.
2. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ.
See, don't talk about them, put them down because they did something wrong, but just say, bear ye one another's burden. In other words, go help and say, hey, brother, that's wrong. This is the way. Walk therein. We cannot be putting them down because they error, because you subject to error too. But if you're putting them down, you already in error, doing something that you shouldn't be doing. But read.
For if a man thinketh himself to be something,
Oh, now you don't build yourself up. If you think that you should be something, what's going to happen?
when he is nothing,
Uh-huh.
he deceiveth himself.
Oh, now you are deceiving yourself because you're doing something that somebody, the person you looking at is not doing. You know, all you got to do is stop doing it. Don't do it no more. Anybody can err, but once you be brought to your attention, don't do it no more. Because if you do it, continue to do it now, you're going to get caught up in self. It'd be just like that man having his daddy's wife, right? He prayed for it, that the Lord kill him. He did. But read.
Or, but let every man prove his own work,
Oh,
and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone.
oh, ain't that something? You got to prove your own work. Now you can have rejoicing in yourself alone. That's what it's all about. You just say, well, let every man know the scripture, but do what's right, do what you understand. And the Lord would increase you in that knowledge. But you got to do what you understand. If you're not doing what you understand, God won't give you no more. Because you are defiling Him. He won't give it to you. You cut it off right there until you repent and do what's right. Read.
And not in another. For every man shall bear his own burden. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things.
Ain't that something? We got to know what to do, how to do it, and when to do it at all times. Because that's what it's about, knowing what to do. See, because we are subject to error, no matter what. That's not good. So we have to know how to do this thing because God got it all written. He got teachers and things there before you. You got the book that you can read and pray and ask for understanding, and He will show it to you, but you got to want it. They go to Matthew, the 5th chapter. Matthew, the 5th chapter. Because we need to do the things that we need to do in order to get the blessing that's been installed from the foundation of the world. See, the Lord ain't just doing it because you showed up. It's already there. You just got to know how to get it. And that sounds good to me. Matthew, what I say?
5th chapter.
5 and 38. Matthew 5 and 38. Because it's all about knowing how to receive the blessing that was created from the foundation of the world. See, when the Lord created, everything was there. When He said, it is good, it is there. Because He knew exactly what's going to happen and could happen. But He will not hold you to it if you recognize it. Because He said, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, right?
Yes, sir.
And I will give you rest, right? But you got to take His yoke upon you, right? You got to learn of Him, knowing how He works. And you shall find rest where? Unto your soul. And I like that. I like that. Matthew 5. 5 and 38. Matthew 5 and 38, because we need to know these things. When you get it, read.
Ye have heard that it has been said, an eye for an eye, and a tooth for a tooth.
Oh, ain't that something? Read.
But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also.
I tell you, that's tall order, right? Read that verse again.
But I say unto you, that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. And if any man will sue thee at the law, and take away thy coat. Let him have thy cloak also.
See, it's a tall order that we have to do. Not saying it would happen to you, just in case it do. You know what to do and how to do it in order to get the blessing that's already been stored for you, which was created when? From the foundation of the world. God is just not doing it now, and you're not the only one that's going through this. What verse?
We're at 41.
41. All right, let's go a little further here. Read that 41 verse. Read it.
And whosoever shall compel thee to go a mile, go with him twain. Give to him that asketh thee, and from him that would borrow of thee, turn not thou away.
Now don't y'all get caught up in this now. But that particular verse. Want to borrow, but if you borrow, you got to pay back now. Because you're a servant of God. Yeah, you want to be a true servant of God. If you borrow, you pay back. All right? But all that's good to know. And that's what it's all about. That's good to know. Let's go a little further here. Let's go a little further. Let's go to Luke, the 6th chapter. Because Luke 6 and 27. 6 and 27. Because we need to operate in this, See, well, that's simple stuff. I tell you what, it might be simple stuff that you read, but can you do it? See, that's what the problem is. It might sound simple, but are you able to do it? See, I think you read something about you got to prove yourself, right? See, that's what we got to do. Yeah, that old simple stuff he's reading, yeah. Sure is. Simple stuff is hard when you got to practice it. See, if the Lord see that you practice it, now he's going to add more to you. And that's what it's about. He's going to add more to you. That bank account that you've been asking for, he's going to give it more because he knows, see, now you can handle it. Okay? But if you can't handle that $20, he ain't going to give you 30. Because you're going to sin. You got too much. Too much. Can't handle it. Where I say go?
26.
6. Okay. 6th chapter. Verse 27. 6 and 27. Because we have to know how to deal with this here thing. Because that's what it's all about. 6 and 27. When you get it, read.
But I say unto you which hear.
Oh, wait now. Say that again. Read that part again.
But I say unto you which hear.
Which hear. He didn't say who read the scripture, but do you hear? And that's the key. You can read it, but don't hear. And that's a problem when you don't hear. But read.
Love your enemies. Do good to them which hate you.
Oh, ain't that something? Do good to them that hate you. What else?
Bless them that curse you. And pray for them which despitefully use you.
Oh, but see, Satan, he worked that on you. Because he wants you to sin. But if you continue to resist him and pray in God, now he'll leave you alone. Because he sees you got strength. You're wise. You can handle this stuff. You can handle it. But even if you can't handle it, he deal with you for a minute, then he go and get somebody else. Try to get somebody else because he's trying to get as many as he can. And that's what it's about. What verse?
29.
Read.
And unto him that smiteth thee on the one cheek, offer also the other.
Oh, we read something like that earlier, didn't we?
Yes, sir.
So, man, offer the other. Don't get all jump mad and anger. Give it to him because God is on your side. God is your God. Because he's a merciful God. When he was judged by the Pharisees, they hit him and beat him and all that. He never said a mumbling word.
Like a sheep.
Only thing he said when he had to correct them, he could pray that the Lord would give him how many angels? whole legion of angels. Hey, ain't nothing you can do to me if God don't allow it. And that's the attitude that we have to have. Because if we don't have that type of attitude, we will stumble. We will stumble. Because that's what old Satan waiting on. Read.
And him that taketh away thy cloak, forbid not to take thy coat also.
Oh, you don't forbid. Give it. Yeah, take it, man. You know, this is what you want. Give it to you. Give it freely. What verse?
30.
Read that 30 verse. Read.
Give to every man that asketh of thee, and of him that taketh away thy goods, ask them not again.
So just give now. He talking to righteous folk now. Don't y'all get caught up in this. He talking to the folks of the world, about the folks of the world, but he talking to his believers. Yeah. Because true servants don't do this. They don't do that. But they would practice it in the world. That's why he say he don't take them out of the world, but protect them. Put your hedge around them while they're in the world. Because you're going to run into that with peoples of the world. But read.
And as ye would that men should do to you, do ye also to them likewise.
See, you know, where you want somebody to treat you, you do it. You be the front runner in doing it so they can see that they men may see your good works to glorify the Father which is in heaven. See, and that's what it's all about. But read.
For if ye love them which love you, what thanks have ye? For sinners also love those that love them. And if ye do good to them which do good to you, what thanks have ye? For sinners also do even the same.
So in other words, you're not of the world, but you're in the world. That's the way sinners do. You don't do that stuff. See, because you got God. What verse?
34.
Read.
And if ye lend to them of whom ye hope to receive, what thanks have ye? For sinners also lend to sinners to receive as much again.
Oh, so you give and expect nothing in return. That's what we have to do. Yeah, you can lend, but don't expect to get it, because you might be lending to a sinner. The sinner ain't gonna pay. Yeah, I know I owe you, but always looking for a reason to get out. You know, well, I'm supposed to get paid on the 24th, and the 24th don't pass 4 or 5 times. Still ain't got paid. Hey, that's what we have to be tough in the Lord. They can't be weak, because if you're weak, you're gonna get caught up in the world. And that's what it's about. What verse?
35.
Read that 35th verse.
But love ye your enemies, and do good, and lend, hoping for nothing again.
Ain't that something?
And your reward shall be great.
Ain't that something?
And ye shall be the children of the highest, for he is kind unto the unthankful and to the evil.
Ain't that something? See, he rang on everybody, but he treat the one that his children, he treat them better by blessing them more, because they doing the right thing. See? Because you were in the world, he didn't say. He said, I pray that not that you take them out of the world, but they in the world, but keep them from the evil that is in the world. And that's what we got to always remember. See, he prayed for you. He don't take you out of the world, but keep you from that evil, because he know, Satan said, what you doing, Satan? I'm walking to and fro in the earth, seeking whom I may devour. He's not ashamed. He ain't ashamed. You want to do it. And that's what it's all about. Let's go a little further here. Go a little further. You go to Isaiah, 8th chapter. Isaiah's the 8th chapter. Let's see what the Lord spoke by the mouth of Isaiah. Isaiah 8th chapter. And we're going to read there. I think I want to start that at the 16th verse. Because we got to know who and what we are dealing with at all times. Because God wants you to know. Because if you know how to handle it if you ever encounter it. You know how to do it. 8 and 16. Isaiah 8 and 16. Because God don't want you to suffer. See, like, just like Hezekiah, that guy, he was giving them everything. He still wasn't satisfied. He wanted it all. That's why Hezekiah had to talk to the prophet. And the prophet told him what the Lord said. And he took care of him. See, the Lord take care of your enemy. He know how to take care of your enemy. So you don't have to do it. Just tell the Lord about it. And believe that it's going to happen. And that's what it's all about. Tell him about it. And wait on the Lord and be of good courage, right? Mm-hmm. And he will bring it to pass. 8 and 16. Read.
Bind up the testimony. Seal the law among my disciples. Mm-hmm. And I will wait upon the Lord that hideth his face from the house of Jacob. And I will look for him.
Oh, that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. We got to know how to do it. Do it with the right spirit. Now, let's go a little further. Go to Romans. Go to Romans, 12th chapter. Because we say we serve as a God. All right, act like it. Let's put it to work. That faith that we said we have, put it to work. Put it to work. And that's what it's all about, knowing how to put this faith that you got to work for you. That everything will fall in place. Because he will bring it to pass. But you got to want it, right?
Yes, sir.
If you don't want it, you're not going to do anything. Yeah, I know what the Bible said, but that's why you suffer.
But
you know what it said, but you ain't knowing nothing about it. And that's not good. Not good. Let's go. Start at verse 1. We're going to skip. Verse 1.
I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service.
Ain't that something? Read.
And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
You got something to prove. Skip down to verse 9 and read.
Let love be without dissimulation. Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good. Be kindly affection one to another with brotherly love. In honor, preferring one another. Not slothful in business. Fervent in spirit, serving the Lord. Rejoicing in hope.
Rejoicing in who?
Hope.
Hope. Read.
Patient in tribulation.
Y'all hear that, right? Patient in tribulation. Things just so bad going on in your life, but you got to be patient. But still praying and hoping. Confident that the Lord going to hear you and deliver you from it.
Yes, sir.
And that's what it's all about. Not murmuring and complaining, oh, Lord, I don't know why you doing this to me. Well, you ain't got confidence that the Lord going to get you to overcome. But why are you going through it in the first place? You got to go back to the drawing board and find out why. What's going on in your life? Did you do anything yesterday that causing the problem today? And that's what's happening. But what verse?
We're at the end of 12.
Finish that.
Continuing instant in prayer.
Oh, praying always. Don't give up. No matter how bad things get, but continue in prayer. Because you don't never know. Never know. God, he hear you. But maybe it ain't time for you to be blessed. Maybe, we're going to you got to get a little more of that stuff out of you that you don't know that you have. But read.
Distributing to the necessity of saints.
Oh, distributing to the necessity of saints. The necessity. Ain't that what that said?
Necessity.
Yeah, you don't just give to the saints because they're saints. It's got to be a good reason. But read.
Given to hospitality.
Oh, you got to be who?
Hospitable.
You might be giving, but you're doing it in a bad spirit. That's what you need to straighten out. Now the Lord can bless you once you straighten that spirit out. But read.
14. Bless them which persecute you. Bless and curse not.
Oh, don't talk about them all they always need. Look at them. Don't know why they always need. Maybe they ain't doing something right. Don't talk to that. Don't say that. Bless them and curse not. Because that's what you're doing. You're cursing them. But read.
Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep. Be of the same mind one toward another.
You got to be of the who?
Same mind.
Same mind, one toward another. But read.
Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceit.
Don't be wise in your own conceit. What you got to do?
Recompense to no man evil for evil.
You can't do that. Can't do that. I like to finish that verse.
Provide things honest in the sight of all men.
Oh, some ain't it. Not just the one that's showing up at the Israel of God that seem to be good, but talking about the folks out there in the world too. Because maybe that's somebody that God wants you to bring in. Read that next verse. What does it say?
If it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men.
Say if now, that's a big word. That's a big word. If. Well, that's a 2-letter word, but I tell you, it's very big. If it be possible. It didn't say, but you give it a try. Don't judge them, just give it a try. And let the Lord work it out for you. Let's go a little further here, because it's all about knowing how to receive that blessing that the Lord have in store for you. Let's go to Psalm 46, 46 chapter Psalm. Psalm 46, because it's all about knowing how to get this here thing. That blessing that the Lord got for you, which was created from the foundation of the world. Not that he's doing it now, it's already there. Just got to get it. Huh? And that's what it's all about. 46 and 1. And we got to know how to receive the blessing. Because, you get tired of struggling and, struggling and things don't seem to be falling in place. But you got to know how to get that connection with God and get ourselves out the way, because what the problem is, a lot of times we put self in the way. Now God can't work because you don't know how to get ourselves out the way. And that's what the problem is. 46 and 1. Read.
Oh, clap your hands, all ye people. Shout unto God with the voice of triumph. For the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. He shall subdue the people under us and the nation under our feet.
Oh, wait. Where we at?
47.
46. 46.
Okay. 31.
1.
God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble.
Oh, see, he is your who? Refuge and strength. Because you ain't operating on your own strength, you're operating on God's strength. And that's what we have to always remember. It is his strength, not yours. Because if you operate on his strength, you'll never fail. But read.
Therefore will not we fear, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea.
No, you don't fear. No matter what's going on around you. But you got your trust in God because you know he's all powerful. He got you in the palm of his hand, right? And that's what it's about. All right. Okay. Read the next verse.
3. Though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Selah. There is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her, and that right early.
God is one that doing the work, Eddie. All you got to be believe, just show up and believe. Say, wait on the Lord and be a good courage, because He the one gonna take care of everything. All you did, just show up. Skip down to verse 9 and read.
He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow and cutteth the spear in sunder. He burneth the chariot in the fire. Be still and know that I am God.
Oh, be still. You don't have to, like you told David now, when you see the leaves shaking on the tree, you just stay right here. Then you go up. See, we got to know how to be patient. Be still and let the Lord do the work. And then we'll receive that blessing that is already there. But read.
I will be exalted among the heathens. I will be exalted in the earth.
Ain't that something? Read that last verse. What does it say?
The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge.
See, we got to know that, and we have to believe that by acting on it at all times. Don't be afraid. Don't be timid, because you got to be bold as a lion, right? Because a lion, when a lion, he don't back down from nobody. A lion is bad, figure he can beat up the world. And that's where you got to be, but humble in spirit. And that's what it's all about. Let's go last place. 123, Psalm 123. 123. Because it's all about knowing how to handle this thing. Knowing how to handle this thing. Because God ain't gonna give you too much. Because if you give you too much at one time, you mess around and blow a fuse. See, you don't want to do that. Verse 1.
Unto thee lift I up mine eyes, O thou that dwelleth in the heavens. Behold, as the eyes of servants look unto the hand of their masters, and as the eyes of a maiden unto the hand of her mistress, so our eyes wait upon the Lord our God.
Oh, we got to wait upon the Lord our God. Read.
Until that he have mercy upon us. Have mercy upon us, O Lord. Have mercy upon us. For we are exceedingly filled with contempt. Our soul is exceedingly filled with the scoring of those that are at ease, and with the contempt of the proud.
So thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. It is a blessing.